fellow music fans, welcome back to Psychology of Rock. If you're new here, my name's Nina, and today we're talking about 3 all-female Asian rock and metal bands that you have got to check out if you have not done so already. And I really have to thank many of my subscribers for recommending these bands, because a year ago I had not heard of any of them. I had never even really been exposed to this genre before. I had just started this channel and I had made a video about one of my other favorite bands, The Warning, and in the comment section over and over and over again, you guys kept saying that I had to check out Bandmade and just Japanese female rock in general. So since then, I have become obsessed. I've gone down the rabbit hole and there is no turning back. Now, these are in no particular order, and I'm assuming you probably already know about Bandmade and Love Bites, which is why they're not on this list, even though they completely deserve to be. And even though I genuinely love these 3 bands, there are so many others that could have made this list, so I will make a part 2 and maybe even a part 3, but these are my current faves. And I want to quickly mention that I really like these bands for different reasons. We can't just lump them all together. Maybe they have similar genres, but they are definitely their own entities. So I want to talk about why I like each one and what sets them apart. And hopefully, if you're not already familiar, you will be exposed to some incredible new artists. Now, the first band is Nemophila, and they are out of Tokyo, Japan. They formed in 2019, and I would describe them as traditional heavy metal with some elements of modern metal subgenres. They seem to have very diverse musical influences, which I think really helps to set them apart. And I know by the end of the video I'm going to sound like a broken record because all 3 bands have incredible technical skill, but these ladies are talented, and if you are a music nerd like I am, you will probably really appreciate the 7-string guitars and the 5-string bass and the really driving drums. One thing I really like in particular is how kind of effortlessly the vocals are able to alternate from completely clean to vicious and savage. And I think because of this versatility and this skill, they're able to explore a lot of different types of sounds. And the vocals in general are just really, really solid. In fact, I think of all 3 bands, Nemophila's vocals are probably my favorite. You can argue with me in the comments if you want to, but I do think they are outstanding. Something else I really like about them is that even though their sound is really heavy, they still have catchy melodies and hooks. And even though they are insanely talented, they seem really laid back, like they're just having a good time and they're not taking everything so seriously. And I also really like that they don't really have a gimmick. I don't really mind gimmicks, but it would be exhausting if every single band had one. And I kind of like that Nemophila is just all about the music, especially because their music is so good. I also have to mention their lyrics because I am a lyric person, and I think this is another area that helps them to really stand out. They seem to focus on themes like self-acceptance, breaking free from expectations, and finding your own inner strength, which are all things that I am fully on board with, so I like their overall message. I also really like their covers. You have to go to their YouTube channel and check out their covers playlist. It is crazy. They have so many fun and kind of unexpected covers. I think probably my 2 favorite are Detroit Rock City and The Trooper. I think I might even like their version of The Trooper better than the original, which says a lot because I really am a huge Iron Maiden fan. But in a nutshell, I just like everything about this band. Next, we have Voice of Baceprot, or VOB, and they are a metal trio from Indonesia. They are just insanely talented, and I love seeing people who have never heard this band react to them because there is no way to anticipate how hard they're going to rock and how incredible their sound is. It's just, again, supreme talent. There are so many things that I like about this band. They have these wild bass slap solos that you have to hear, drumming like a force of nature, and the guitar is just everything. Marsya, who's the guitar player, has the best riffs, and she's also the singer, so she actually sings on top of these riffs, which is simply amazing. And this is another band where I really love the vocals. They are melodic, but they're not poppy. They're just kind of perfect. And sometimes all the 3 members will sing together, so they have these incredible harmonies, and it's just this really rich sound. And even though they don't really sound similar, I like VOB's vocals for the same same reason I like the Warnings vocals. I can't really pinpoint it, but they do have the same kind of appeal where it just seems like they fit the music exactly the way they're supposed to. Now, apparently the band's name translates to mean noisy, which they picked because they wanted to have an energetic and powerful sound, which I think they definitely do. And they actually were inspired to start a band when they heard System of a Down's album Toxicity at their school in the guidance counselor office. They were immediately drawn into this genre of music and wanted to start playing instruments. Fast forwarding to now, they are incredible artists with amazing original material. But this is another band where I really love their covers, most notably of Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, and Slipknot. And like Nemophila, I think I like some of their covers even better than the original. They definitely keep up. They also just seem like the nicest people. They seem kind, funny, humble, and of course, incredibly courageous. And I have to say that even though they've had a lot of success, they've also faced a lot of challenges and a lot of stereotyping. But I think in the end, it's only empowered them to use their platform to continue to spread their messages of unity, equality, and self-acceptance. And I think they really are making a big impact. So all around, I think they just have a great package. And last but not least, we have Hanabie, who, like Nemophila, is from Tokyo, Japan. I believe they've been together since 2015, and I don't even know how to describe this band. They are just completely outside of the box. They're a lot heavier than many of the different bands in this genre, and I think I would have described them as metalcore-ish with a lot of other genres mixed in, but they self-describe their music as Harajuku-core, which they say is a fusion of heavy metal and pop punk combined with the playful spirit of Harajuku fashion, which, if you're not familiar, which I definitely was not, is an ever-evolving subculture of Japanese street style. This is something I never would have known about if I didn't make this video, and they definitely have a really fun look. But since I'm not really into fashion, it really was the music that drew me in. They are incredibly authentic. They don't sound like any other band I have ever heard before. And like VOB and Bandmate, there's this huge dissonance between their outward appearance and their music, which I think is brilliant. And I also just think they have a really unique approach. So you're not going to find a lot of songs that have traditional structure. It's not going to be verse, pre-chorus, chorus, repeat. They make up their own rules completely. They change tempos and time signatures again and again throughout the same song, and it just really, really works. You can also hear a very unique blend of influences from metal to punk to J-pop to rock and rap. And again, it does not seem like all of these influences would work together, but they absolutely do. And the vocals are just insane. If you have not heard this band yet, you have to start with Pardon Me, I Have to Go Now. It is a wild ride. And this song and many of their other songs touch on real issues, which just adds another layer to their music. But overall, Hanabie is just a force to be reckoned with. They are so much fun, and they definitely get an A for originality. It's also kind of incredible that they formed this band in high school without having any serious musical training, yet they've been able to evolve into everything they've become. In fact, in 2023, they signed with Epic Records Japan, so I think they're going to start to get a lot more exposure, which I think they definitely deserve. So that's it for today. Please go check out these 3 amazing bands if you haven't already. I will have all of their links in the description box below. Also, I would love to know which one is your favorite and which bands should be included in part 2. So don't forget to leave a comment down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, and I will see you next week.